Okay, folks, I think it worked. I believe it has. I believe it started. I believe the link is correct. This could be wonderful. Oh, audio might be a little bit loud. Maybe I can turn that down a little bit for everybody. How's everyone doing out there? Happy Friday, everybody. This is super exciting. Yes, it looks like I finally have the switches pressed correctly. Okay, I can see I'm live across the room there. All should be well. Hopefully I'm not getting any echoes and microphones. Oh, it's my dog that's barking. Oh, good old Winston. He's part of the show today anyways. He must know it. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Sorry for the little bit awkward launch for today's video, but yes, we've been having terrible tech situations with our wonderful live streaming software. So yes, thank you everybody for being here. My name is Rob Appell. I'm a quilt maker. I feel like I'm talking a little fast, and I apologize for the dog barking in the background. But like I said, that's my little 14-year-old Chihuahua, and he is actually part of the show today, although not live. Stick with us till the end of the show. I've got some really, really fun things I want to share with you. If you've never been to one of the live shows, welcome, folks. You are amongst one of the 57,000 subscribers. If you have not hit that subscribe button yet, please do so now. Make sure you're joining us for all of the fun we have here. We also have a Facebook group. It's a private group, but I'll welcome most every quilter out there. Anyways, it's called So Well Rob Appell. And actually, we're up to about 1,200 members, but it's a great place for us all to keep in contact and be together out there as a community. So very exciting there. Please consider joining that. And speaking of community members, Carl, I'm glad to see that you made it. I'm going to hopefully not embarrass you, but everybody, Carl reached out to let me know that him and his wife were having some health concerns, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to be here with us, which just reminds me how important our community of quilt makers are. So Carl, I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad Kelly must be feeling better. So awesome to see you in the comments. If you're also here for the first time, we'd love to know where you're coming from. We'd love to know what the weather's like. I'd love to know what kind of quilt you're working on. I'd love to know you're chatting amongst yourselves. I don't look at the comments much, even though I kind of can see them going by on the corner of my eye here. A couple times throughout the video today, I'll go ahead and check it. And like I said, we've got a bunch of things going on. We will talk about the winners in a second. I have the Quilts gallery camera set up so we can go over there and talk about what's on the long arm. We won't be using it today. I hoped we would be, folks. I am drastically behind. I mean, I was even ironing the blocks here. You can see the blocks don't have the final rows on them. But I have been working, I would like to say diligently all week on getting the new free pattern ready for launch with the newer worlds, my new fabric that's coming out here in the near future, not quite in stores yet. But I ran into some serious snags, folks. So of all of the sewing I wish I could brag that I was doing, I want to say I got pretty good with a seam ripper this week. Awful to say it. But yeah, I put on these rows wrong twice, and I realized the diagram was correct, but I had done the step prior that didn't have a diagram in my own pattern. This is why I test this stuff. I had done it incorrectly. So I'm making up some new diagrams. I'm gonna get some more ironing, and hopefully this quilt top assembled before the end of this evening, but I'd like to spend some time with all of you. Okay, big news, folks. We have a huge batik sale going, $2 per yard off, is what I should say, not $2 a yard on batik. I'd be paying you to take it at that point. But no, $2 off per yard. There's a registration code, so I'm just gonna leave this right there on the screen for you all to see and check out real nice. That code you'll put in at your checkout, and it'll get you $2 off per yard on all your batik fabrics. And that is going on, I guess, yesterday, May 9th through tomorrow, the 11th. Make sure you take advantage of that. And then also, just to let everybody know, we are doing a web maintenance on Sunday, May 12th. So, oh, golly, let's talk about, more importantly, Happy Mother's Day coming up, everybody, on May 12th. So, reminder to all you guys that haven't gone card shopping yet, you still have 48 hours. But anyways, yes, back to web maintenance. May 12th, about 4 o'clock, we're doing a giant background upgrade for everybody out there to make things even more slick and cool at stitchinheaven.com than they already are. So it's not really anything that you'll notice other than hopefully smoothness. But if you're trying to log in and purchase after 4 o'clock Central Time on the 12th there, you may be having difficulty. So make sure you do all your shopping right away. Make sure you take advantage of that boutique sale coming up. And then also on our website is where we do our events. So we've been talking about a couple of these. I like to let everybody know what's up and coming current, or what I guess I'm personally excited about. This is my show, so I'm going to do it my way. Anyways, here we go. Again, we have the Let's Celebrate. This is an OESD special event. It is going to be an in-person event. It's going to be on site in Quitman, Texas, June 11th through 13th. Check out the website for more details there. And then I mentioned last week we have another awesome quilt retreat coming up very soon, but because it's on land, it's a Land Ahoy in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, June 2nd through 8th. You can get signed up pretty quick. We've got incredible instructors that are going to be coming out. Julie and Michael will be there, and they're going to be doing a couple of beautiful quilts for everybody. Should I just push those really fast? That's kind of cool. Maybe not, sorry. Anyways, so having a lot of fun with that, and a really great way. Michael Davidson himself is a QuiltWorks instructor and getting more and more involved with us at Stitchin Heaven. I think Tina just put up another video with him recently, and there's just some great things coming on. Like I said, and you'll see when we get to the grateful list today, my thing I'm most grateful for right now is community, and it's all I can think about. So at any rate, it pertains, I guess, right? So Michael, thanks for doing that with Tina. We really appreciate you being part of our family out there. Working towards helping all of our new quilters out there. We have had some incredibly amazing feedback. Thank you all for that on some of our beginning quilting series, learn to quilt with Rob kind of stuff. So last week I showed you the buggy cam. Here's the thumbnail. We did top 5 tools every quilter needs. So that's the video that's up right now on YouTube. Please check it out. Share it with your friends that are beginning quilters. Even though it starts a little silly, I definitely go over rotary cutters, mats, rulers, and the wool pressing mat that we all love so much. Next Wednesday coming up is the Synergy Remix. So the quilt on the back wall and apparently on the side wall in that photo is going to be next Wednesday's tutorial. And if you look closely, that's also the quilt that's laying over there on the long arm right now. So hey, good news. A quilt does not have to be finished to make a tutorial out of it. I guess if you already have a sample on the wall, right? Anyways, Synergy is the really fun quilt that I kind of remade. It's the cover quilt from the Splice Magic book. I love that book because it uses a half square triangle technique, but you make a big and 2 smalls in the same method. It's pretty quick other than the trimming of the half square triangles, but boy, that sure makes it accurate. So it's well worth the time to trim those down. But at any rate, yeah, we just got the kits back in stock, and those kits feature my new Worlds fabrics. So it's really fun. So that's why we're remaking the project and everything and just having a blast with it. And so you can get the kits already from Stitchin Heaven. I cannot guarantee, I actually can guarantee they probably won't be in your hands come Wednesday when the video drops, but that's okay because our videos are always here on YouTube. So they're just going to keep out there. They're going to keep playing for you. And again, it's a great way for you to share that with the community and help all of our new quilters, you know, participating in everything. So at any rate, oh, and I forgot to mention before, but I do try to put links in the description, even in the live videos. So there's going to be a header and a description below, and I've tried to put as many links of the things I could think about that I was going to talk about today. So always feel free to just bounce into that description below, and there should be links for like the kits I was just talking about, or the Land Ahoy retreats, or the other events we have coming and things. I know how important ease of use is for our subscribers out there, and so we are always trying to do our best to make our videos. Of course, they're supposed to be fun because that's, I mean, how could I not have fun doing them? But we do want them to be educational and fluid for you all. So again, let us know in the comments, how can we continually improve what we're doing and how we're doing it? Okay, so next on my to-do list is technically the the grateful list. But before I share with you my grateful list today, because it's pretty fun, let's go ahead and talk about the winners. So we're going to go ahead and go to Quilt Gallery over here. That's the new section of the room. I'm calling it with the wonderful new lights. And I can't see the comments. I can't really see what's going on right now. But last week, if you were watching the Friday Live, I had just come running in from the mailbox center where I get all of my fabric sent. And the new wide backs, Glow Dot New Worlds, had arrived. And I wanted everybody's vote, and I will say it was pretty close, but the winners are selected. It took a couple days to get all the counting done, and so yes, for the tumbling blocks, using all 18 colors, right? This one here is going to have the blue dots on the back, okay? So that means, and I think a lot of you are going to be happy to see that the orange dots are on the back of the Synergy Remix. And what's really fun, folks, is that I keep playing with this. I kind of felt like that's how it should go. Now, this one was the one I was, this is the quilt I was having a hard time choosing on because I see it as both bright and rich at the same time because of the way the edge colors are. So this one could have gone either way. This particular quilt with the darker grays, and again, backing is just backing. It's just something to, you know, another place to quilt on. But because of the grays as the neutral in the background, I feel like this is kind of a darker quilt, if you will. And so that's why this blue on the back of this quilt, I think, makes the most sense. So that was the thing, was which one goes where with which project. But yeah, I can tell you already that this blue here is going to go fantastically with the new quilt that is called Borrowed Time, because that has a very dark feel. Let me show you a couple of these blocks over here. Let's go to the overhead camera for this. And you can see just pulling these off the ironing station. So they're coming out pretty sharp, pretty nice. I'm pleased with them. I still need to put the outer rows on them. Let me show you what that looks like here. So here's the outer rows. And that's going to give that cool, so this will come back together and form like a black and white kind of checkerboard in there. So kind of a fun play on that. But I think you'll agree that this kind of has a darker feel to the quilt. And therefore that blue backing, that blue wide back, the 108-inch fabrics will be awesome for this background. So what I really wanted to do, excuse me, for this quilt, these palettes. So what I really wanted to do in creating the two different wide backs was try to come up with a tone, a series of not a palette really, because it's only two colors. I want to come up with two colors that really worked well for almost every quilt. And that's kind of, so a light and a dark, a warm and a cool. And so I'm really excited. I know we're talking a lot about my new fabrics. I'm sorry if it feels like I'm bragging too much, but again, it's my show. I'm going to do what I want to do, and it's my fabric, and I'm super excited about it. But the reason that it's a basic, it's a blue, it's a red, it's a yellow, you can use any fabric in the concepts of these quilts that I'm making. So it's fun with that. Of course, I would love it if you got our fabrics. And again, New Worlds is available already at Stitchin Heaven. Newer Worlds, we've got it on order, but it hasn't started to ship quite yet. So at any rate, I'm going to push this kind of just out of the way. I'm going to get back to that in a little bit here. Oh, thank you. I'm seeing some very nice comments on the pattern there, everybody. And let's go ahead and dive in real quick. I still feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour. I guess I just got so excited that the technology worked today. All right, here we go, folks. With no further ado, the grateful list. Every week we like to talk about the things that we feel grateful for here in our quilting community, in this world, and partly, even though I am definitely not a wellness professional, I am feeling better and better as I continually battle my alcoholism, my depression, sometimes my anxiety, and one of those things I find so important is morning time. So right here you can see this morning, this I thought was a kind of a funny picture. There is my dog Winston. We're drinking coffee and he usually sits on my lap. We spend about 45 minutes or so. I like to read my Bible and look out at the ocean, and it's really fun. Winston doesn't look, I think he looks better in the glasses than I do. I'm pretty sure. And here's what's really fun, folks. You know, we also like, so I'm going to integrate a little show and tell today into the grateful list. I think this is pretty cool. So at any rate, Mary sent this picture in this week. Let's give you the full version of it. I got to embarrass myself a little bit. Look at that scruffy dude there. So thank you, Mary, for sending that in. But at any rate, so that is a picture of me at Houston Quilt Market several years ago. She says I haven't changed a bit. I think she might be slightly incorrect, but nonetheless, having fun on the Grateful List. And so, yeah, that was really fun to get that picture in. I'll do a couple more show and tells here in a moment. I've got a few quilts to share with everybody. Get to go to a really fun event tomorrow night. I think I might dress a little fancy. I'm not sure. I have some friends coming into town, and it's just always a great opportunity to stop. I guess it's an advantage and a disadvantage working in my home studio, because a lot of times I want to spend every waking hour in here working on stuff. I just love making stuff. And so it's really important, and I know going into this holiday weekend of Mother's Day, so come tomorrow afternoon about 4 o'clock, it's time to shut off work time and get into family time. So Randy and Palasha, I'm really excited hanging out with you guys. When you're coming down, that'll be great to see you. And then I have third on my list is I'm still patching, and grateful for it. Maybe grateful for the fact that I get to sew all day, every day during these weeks. I even told the team at Stitchin Heaven that this was going to be a heavy construction week. So the other humor is in the still patching is the fact that I was really seam ripping a lot, meaning that I'm sewing on the same things over and over again. I figured out where the problem was, and this is why we test our patterns. It was me, and I needed one more diagram in there, but it's fun. So yes, I am still patching on the same projects here, and grateful for it, because right now we're running on target, we're running on schedule, and it's super fun. Now, our community. I've mentioned our community multiple times today, and I am so blessed and so grateful for our friends in our community. And so that goes a lot of different ways. And so here I said I would do a couple of special things for you at the end of the video. We're starting to approach that time. I will most certainly take a time to look at all of your comments here before I sign off. If you have any questions about anything you've seen in the last few weeks for me, feel free to type them in. I'll go through and try to answer them for you. So at any rate, okay, let's see who just said that. So yes, Jennifer, as a matter of fact, Jennifer just commented about thoughts on her work. So I wasn't preparing my thoughts, Jennifer, but here is a thank you, Jennifer. And I did get a couple of lovely photos in. Okay, I did have a thought. Yes, the gal in the white is apparently wearing her AC/DC jacket, and this appears to be applique and super, super fun. If you're a Beatles fan, let's pull your name off of there, Jennifer. And yeah, so Jennifer sent in her quilts, and just really fun. Of course, I love applique, and I love patchwork, and this one's also from Jennifer, and just beautiful, kind of along the lines of what I'm actually working on right now in the middle of my project as well. So yeah, thank you very much for sending in those quilts. And the photo, Mary, again, embarrassing me. I had one more in here, I thought. I hope I didn't mess up. Oh, Mary had, sorry, this one came in from Lucky. And here is another really cool quilt right there. And that one came in from Lucky. Thank you, Lucky. And I'm not sure if that is a guy or gal, so I just put photo of quilt, but pretty cool. And it's neat because it feels a lot like some of the quilts I was looking at while I was interviewing Sujata Shah in her home with my friend Charisma Horton. So that's a video we put up a few weeks ago, and Sujata was talking a lot about her intuitive piecing and her creative patchwork. And so that quilt there from Lucky sure looks a lot like some of those, and they're just really, really neat. So yes, and I just saw a comment come by, super creative quilts, Jennifer and Nancy. I could not said that better myself. So thank you again. And again, the support of our community. This is what I'm talking about. This is why we quilt together. This is why we have our social media. And I am so blessed that you're all following along out there. I really appreciate that. Now, I also have something fun for you. At least I hope this is fun for you. So I got a comment, and I won't read it all, but this was in regards to the 5 tools video. And, oh gosh, this has gotten awfully small. This is going to be hard for me to read. She said she would love to have had the video when it was getting started. This is from Lisa, so I'm just assuming she. I wish I would have had the video when I first started quilting. Would have saved a lot of money on the different brand rulers. And then she goes on and basically mentions, I think one more tool, at least for me, was a really good pair of small scissors. which I do left-handed scissors to snip off my threads. My go-to brand is Fiskars. So at any rate, Lisa, I have really heard your comment and you are correct. I didn't comment on scissors because I was thinking so patchwork specifically, but I do have a couple of things to say about scissors, and actually they do make specific left-handed scissors for those of you who are left-handies or southpaws. So at any rate, especially on the bigger scissor or bigger shear, if you do not know this, the way a shear is designed to operate, so this is the Guggenheim, this is a 9-inch dressmaker shear, but we use it a lot for cutting fabric. Here's a close-up of it there for you. It's a beautiful scissor. It's got kind of a rubberized handle. Oh, I bet I could do this in the overhead a little bit. Okay, so it's kind of got a rubberized handle, but the steel is all the way in there. Gorgeous brass hardware, extra, extra sharp. But what I can maybe do is I do this. When you cut with your scissors, the blade is crossing. The way you hold a right-handed scissor in a right hand, the way the grip and the thumb, when you push down properly, it forces the blades together, and that's what makes right-handed. Well, most scissors are generally right-handed if they're not labeled left-handed. So for you southpaws out there that have either learned to cut with your right hands or are struggling with nice shears in your left hands, please purchase left-handed shears. Now the Guggenheim are right-handed. I do not know if we stock left-handed Guggenheims at Stitchin Heaven, but I do know because I asked and because of Lisa, so you actually all have Lisa to thank for this, we're discounting them for you all. And I think they're half off or something dang close to it. I know these ones were. This was the other one. Now this is a little different. I'm not putting as much pressure into my little teeny shear, okay? Now this is one that we actually had branded for us at Stitchin Heaven, and this is the one I really like here. It's got a copper handle. It's a little more masculine. I mean, come on, right? Yeah, I like that. It's just got that neat, deep, rich, brass-looking handle in there. It's called the copper. But at any rate, what I like about these scissors an awful lot is that my fingers fit into them. I do use them for applique. I also use them for thread snips at the machine always. But with a scissor like this, you're only using the very tips of your fingers, so you're not putting the torque on them, right? And or you can flip them over right-handed or left-handed. So Lisa's question was about being ambidextrous and or left-handed scissors. So when purchasing a shear like this, you put your whole hand in and again has a serious blade to it and a serious grip to it, you want to purchase hand-specific shears. For little snippers like these, you want to purchase the ones we have for you at Stitchin Heaven because those are the ones I'm almost guaranteeing you are discounted. Now, I think that that sale is also just going to run through Saturday night because of our web redoing our web maintenance. Everything is going to kind of stop and refresh on Sunday. So take advantage of it today. I don't believe you need a code or anything. We just decided, thanks to Lisa, we're going to discount my favorite 2 pairs of scissors for everybody, including Lisa. And yes, the Fiskars is another good brand. Kai scissors, K-A-I, something I really like also. A little more for the specific cuts of applique because of the razor edge. But yeah, I was trying to do a top 5 tools that any beginning quilter should have, and I did. I forgot to really cover scissors because it was about rotary cutters, it was about the cutting rulers, the mats, the ironing surfaces, and the 1/4 inch. So let's talk about some scissors. And so thank you, Lisa, for reminding me that. And again, that's why we love our community so much, because we can all learn and grow. And that's also why we decided to build a live video once a week as well as a recorded video. And if you're not following along on Facebook right now, I really want to recommend that you check us out on, I believe it's Tuesdays, Chat with Pat. This week she did a great job. So Pat also has had some help. Well, I believe it's Pat's husband has had some health concerns over the last few weeks, and so Karen has been stepping in. But what we really know about, or we believe we know about all of you at home, is that you rely on us for your sewing time. You like to listen to what we're doing while you're sewing along in your sewing rooms. And so We are trying to be consistent on our time frames. We are trying to be consistent on our kind of shows that we're going to put out. We even have some really cool shows coming up we're working on for the future. So we just want to encourage you again, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure you're following us on Facebook. Make sure you're involved in our email at stitchinheaven.com so that you can really enjoy all of the different live feed videos we're doing. And like I said, sorry, Pat. Pat covered a little bit about what was going on in her life at the beginning of Chat with Pat last week. And so again, go back, check those out. Those are also saved on Facebook so you can see. And she covers a lot of the new stuff that's coming into the store. So really cool. I have one last video I am dying to share with you about community. It was from the Raya Saloma Quilting Retreat. This one's beautifully done by our new videographer, Elijah, who you keep hearing me talk about. This gentleman's doing a fantastic job. But before I play that video and sign off, I want to go ahead and look at some comments and make sure I've answered all of the questions. Oh, sounds like Carly's been playing with Jack the Seam Ripper. Jack the Ripper. Sorry, Carly. So glad you're all out here. I see so many folks logged in today. This is great. Okay, what is this? It says the Combat Quilter showed up late. Those of you who know, and especially those of you who have served our country, Combat Quilter owes us push-ups, 15, what is it? It's 50 push-ups for every minute he's late. So we just have to figure out what time he showed up so we can figure out how late he was, because he's going to owe me some serious push-ups. Although at this point, I think I might still have a deficit of push-ups I owe him, so we'll see how it goes. But one of these days, I'll be strong enough to keep up with Mr. Quilter there. All right, great. Having fun looking at all these comments, folks. Again, thank you very much. I think Jennifer really wants me to comment on her quilts in public. Jennifer, that puts me at a great risk, you know. So I'm going to say thank you for sending your quilts. I really like them, actually. I thought they were great. I'll comment real quick. Let's just do this. Okay. As I study it a little bit more, and funny enough, when you first sent it in, I kind of cropped them down to take some of your personal info out. So that's what I was more looking at. I love the way that the colors play within the black. I think you have just the right amount of space in that black negative space for both your big and small squares. So I can say that's something that I would like to do myself, that quilt there. And then I also will bounce back to this one because it looks really, really cool. And I love the characters in there. I'm sorry, the video I'm looking at right now is quite small and I cannot see all of the details in all of the different fabrics you chose for the applique. So I will go back and look at that on my computer full size so that I can come back and maybe even embarrass you. You may not want to know what I say when I see it real close. No, I love it. And oh yeah, folks, if you would like to send your quilts in, it's rob@stitchinheaven.com. I have it somewhere right here. There you go, rob@stitchinheaven.com. If I move my pile of fabric, that looks even better. And you can go ahead, and I'm encouraging everybody, send in your photographs. If you have silly photos of us together, send those in as well, like Mary did. That was really fun. If you send them in, please try to crop out personal information and things, because I do that for you, but as more and more photos come in, I may not have the time to do that constantly, but it is something that I really enjoy having the photos to share. Okay, so I promised you a wonderful send-off to today's sorry, I was reading praying for everybody. Okay, good. I want to send you all off with this wonderful event. So Raya Saloma was out teaching. We had a wonderful time together. I have a long video that will be coming up in a couple of weeks for you all to just to enjoy more of what she's doing, more of her quilts and all of that. We did some fun prizes, but this is just another beautiful video I'd like to share with you all. So here we go.
So 5 of these ladies were sailing with me on the Hawaii cruise it was last October. And when they heard that there was going to be a retreat coming up, they said, I want to go, which was so exciting. And then the others, well, there was one lady from Finland originally, and she happened to be looking for retreats and saw my name. So she said that I have a friend and we want to come together. So there were 2 others, and then 5 ladies just somehow decided to come for this retreat. And I'm so excited and happy that they did, because they are all amazing. I think my favorite thing is really because every single person, there has never been any cliques or whatever. Everybody's rooting for each other and everybody's having fun, and there has been a little bit of competitiveness between the mother and the daughter, which has added to the fun. But honestly, everybody has been so nice to each other, and so receptive to my teachings. How I teach, it's kind of a hard concept, but when people get it, they really, really appreciate it. And to see that appreciation and the success that they have, I think that's the best. I think it's the people. I get to be, socialize, teach, what I'm passionate about. And it's so nice when people start saying, oh my gosh, I have never been able to piece so accurately. Oh, it's done like this. So share your passion. When you can share your passion, what better job can you have? I hope so, because this has been way too much fun. I just wish it could be 2 weeks.
That's good. Oh, and there's the magic button. Awesome. Isn't that just a beautiful video? And again, I just wanted to share with you how incredible our retreat center is in Quitman, Texas. I know many of you've got to come out, whether it's been on a bus trip or you've come personally, you've stayed in the little cottages. I know I'm always showing you the pictures of the little cottages because I love those so much. But yeah, if you haven't been out to one of our retreats, it's just incredible. You can see the lighting is fantastic. The sewing space is right off of where the sleeping spaces are, although there's a nice wide hallway that keeps the sound down so you actually can get some rest if you choose to. But yeah, you basically have access to the kitchen and the quilting space 24/7. And it's kind of how I begin the other video, but I was driving in about 11:25 p.m. I was coming back from having some pizza late at night a couple towns over, and as I drove through the parking lot that night, I noticed that Raya was actually up teaching and hadn't engaged. There's 4 of the students still up. She was holding one of her blue and white patchworks up in the air, and they were all standing around the design wall just still working so hard on their designs and their projects, and it was just so cool. And so that's why when I put up the Grateful List and I talk about our sewing community, I am so thankful and so grateful, and I mean that about each and every one of you out there. Thank you for joining me on these Fridays. Thank you for supporting our shop. Thank you for supporting all of the crazy ideas that we do. Thank you for sharing the Learning to Quilt videos with all of your friends out there that are learning to quilt. And again, to the gal who commented that even a seasoned quilter learned something from one of my videos recently, I appreciate that so much. I think we can all learn from each other, and that's why the community thing is so important to us all at Stitchin Heaven, and we are so thankful that you are part of that. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, if you haven't followed us on Facebook yet, if you haven't signed up for the newsletter on our email, please do all of those things so that we can stay in contact each and every day. I might be putting up some fun bonus content throughout the week, but if not, I will most definitely see you on Wednesday with that awesome video making the Synergy remix. And then again, next Friday, we'll go live one more time for you. And maybe by that point, I'll have the quilt in a single holdable fashion for you. And until then, folks, thank you again for being here. And